Greetings, everybody. It's Marty the JavaScript Party. I'm my buddy Rhett, and we are coding. We spent a lot of time on the last one, like hour and 40 minutes, trying to figure out aspect ratios and when to set them and all that. I'll tell you the domain of like what I wanted when I started 3JS project is I wanted something interesting to work on for a long time. It's especially important like when you're between jobs, right? Like if you're going to be a computer programmer, you're going to like it's weird. It's going to be very difficult to hold if you're going to be coding. It's going to be very difficult to hold a job over periods of time because they they just don't always need code. Like they think they always need code, but they don't. And once it's all coded up and they're trying to I don't know, digest the application they have and do maximize their profit and off of that, they don't really need you and all that. So like the hardest part about being unemployed is not having anything to work on to fill your space, your day with, especially if you enjoy what you do for a living. So that was probably the main reason for it. And then I picked 3JS because I've never worked in 3JS. And so I didn't want to get into any legal issues with, oh, you stole our code or anything like that. And then the other reason I picked 3JS is because I knew it was such between that and Angular, they were such complex systems that it would keep me mentally engaged. And boy, has it. It has not let me down. I'm running into new concepts, new ideas all the time. So we are finishing up this voice API. We're finishing up the voice API. We're really towards the end of it. It does everything we want. Just a quick demo. Basically, we have this API, and we have this, and then we have this discrete. And this is one kind of voice recognition that is available on the voice recognition side of things, not the voice speaking side of things. Because the voice API has two things that it's dealing with. One is the speaking and one is the listening. And then it has two kinds of listening. It has discrete and continuous listening. And from 30,000 feet, the difference between a discrete is that it stops itself. It listens for you to say something and then it stops. It would be really good for something that you just want to give it a single command. It goes and does it, and then all that. But the way it works is you have to do something to get it to do the voice, and then it's going to stop itself, and then you got to do something to get it to do it again. Whereas continuous will listen, and it will keep listening until you stop it. So let's do this. So this is an example of discrete. Hello, how are you? So you see it stopped itself and all that. Now we'll go to this. And we're going to go to continuous. And we'll say, hello, how are you? What is your name? And then we stop it, right? So in the continuous, it's just going to do. And so that, and really the main point to this application is an easy way to test to see if things are working the way you expect them to work. And B, like, let's say you come up with an idea of something that you want to build a voice application on, you can kind of try it out here ahead of time. You can just be like, oh, okay, let's see. And then you can build an actual application that does what you want. Now, probably a mistake. Unless you, like, if you're building something because as a tool that you're going to use and it's going to be used to create stuff and the stuff that you create is good, then it's fine. But it doesn't look like it's going to be it doesn't look like this is a stable API, but it hasn't changed in a long time. It's also, not only is it unstable API, but it's an ignored API as well. There doesn't seem to be any motion in voice on the browser happening. So do that. Do with that what you will. But this, my friends, is what you call a bleeding edge technology. You will bleed. If you build something in this, there will be a point where you get an ouchie because you're going to get burned because this is a WebKit incomplete API. So you've been warned. Anyway, so I added this, and basically I added these last week. And so I have different things, and then I have one link that works right now. Well, that officially works, and that's the link that shows that gives you a link to this set of videos that shows how this thing was built. I'm pretty sure every single last line of code that is in this code base was added on video. So if you want to learn how to do it, all you have to do is watch 120 hours of my videos, because they're probably on average about 30 minutes long actually, but some of them are like an hour long. 56, 47, 50, 1 hour and 7, 33, 36, 36, an hour and 17. So, that's that. Okay, so I also did choose to create like a dialog box that has this information. So about this website. So this website is, so I guess what I want to do is I want to get like a notepad going. Hope there's no, okay, it came up off of camera, so that's good. Okay, so this website was created and designed to allow users to try the voice recognition browser API. It allows you to experiment with discrete and continuous it's misspelled. I think it's like this, UOUS, continuous. It also shows the API attributes in that are expected, that were expected during the summer of 2025. And I feel like that's good enough, right? So okay, so I have an about. So I created a website that allows users to experiment with the voice API in the browser. I've created an about page. Here is what I have written for my about page. this for you write this for style and content, and you make it longer and at a college reading level.
I love you.
Question mark, and then smoother, polished. I'll keep it what it doesn't present it at a college record reading level. Here's a revised version about this project. Oh man, this is beautiful. This website was developed as an interactive platform. Oh my god, it's an interactive platform, fellas. We did it. We made an interactive platform. Woo! 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 Yeah, Rhett likes it too. All right, so interactive platform for exploring the capabilities of voice recognition API available in modern web browsers. Its purpose is to provide a hands-on environment where users can experiment with both discrete and continuous modes of speech recognition, gaining a clearer understanding of how browsers interpret and process spoken input. Damn, that's good. Beyond simple experimentation, the site highlights the attributes and configuration options of the API as they were anticipated to function in mid-2025. By making these features visible and testable, the project not only demonstrates the current state of browser-based technology, but also serves as a resource for developers, students, and enthusiasts who wish to study the API in greater depth. Ultimately, the goal of this project is to bridge the gap between technical documentation and practical experience, rather than reading about speech recognition in the abstract. Visitors are encouraged to engage directly with the tools themselves, experimenting, observing, and observing results and forming their own insights into the evolving role of the interaction based on those. Now, I love this. I love it. I love this so much. I love this. Okay. Gotcha. Glad you love it. Do you want me? So that's the only text I have with this one. Only text I have this time, but I have a few more. About pages. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's do this. Let's copy this like this. I read it all. It's definitely 5,000 times better. 5,000.087 times better than what I had before. So there's that. Yeah, I'm really happy about it. So let's come in here. I guess I have it down here. And about this website goes in here. And then I guess we should just for fun, just go look and see what it looks like without any, like if I don't put any kind of styling on it. So yeah, pretty hideous. I believe that these, So I think that what we probably want to do is like do like an H1. H1 might be too much, but H1. And then let's see how that looks. So that is too much, but I probably would rather just make it smaller. Here. And since we are really literally at the end of this project, so I don't really need to think about the future. Like I would, in general, not just mess with the H1. I would give it a class and stuff like that. But we are literally at the end of the rope on this. Like, we are not going to do any more changes to this code. So I think we want to add like padding of like 3px around there. And I believe that there's this HAR, I think it might, yeah, so it did that for me. And then font size, and I'm going to make that 16px. Wow, that's small. 26px. Okay. So I want padding to be like, I think it's like too big on top, but not big enough on the sides. So I think it's like 2px and then 6px. I think the second set will be the edges. Yeah, and then let's go with, I almost feel like maybe it should be centered. Can I do that? Text align. Center. Oh yeah, I think that's way better. All right, about this project. And now there's 3 paragraphs. So there's this thing called, like, what's it called? Like a systemic, some kind of HTML, like where you give it like names and stuff, you know, and I don't know. I don't know why that ever became a thing. I'm sure there's probably some domain in which that is super useful, but man, like semantic HTML, I have never seen the value in that. And what's really bizarre about that is that the people who are really pro semantic HTML, like, they just get irrational. They get so mad when you like question the validity of it. It's really strange thing. Since I guess it was weird because it was, well, I guess because it wasn't just the styling. All right. So basically, I think we just want to have a little bit of space, like margin on both sides of the paragraphs. But I think we don't want it to be above and below. I think there's plenty of room above and below. Right now, I think that part looks good, but I would like to have margin. And I believe it's like this, 0 and then 5px. And the way, like, so you could do this. You could go 0, 5px, 0, and then 5px. And you do it by clockwise. So the top is the 0, and then the clockwise, the next thing would be 5px. And then the next is 0. That's this 0 here. And then the left is 5px. So let's see how that looks. I think that looks so much better. I don't really like the way it looks here. And actually now I do. Oh, and that's because I set it. See, I liked the margin that we had before. And margin right is equal to 5px. So let's go 15px. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So one thing you can do, right? You could say like margin. Like, let's say I wanted the tops to be like 2px, right? I could do the top and the bottom to be like 2px. I could do that, and then it would go and apply this rule, but then it would see this rule and it would apply this rule and apply this rule, and that wouldn't really add any performance or anything like that. And you will quite often see this in teaching environments and in small environments, but you get to the enterprise, you never see that. And the reason is because there's this static code analysis system called SonarQube, and SonarQube calls this like a critical error. Like, and they define critical errors as like errors that could bring the entire system down. And they're just like, oh, you had a rule and then the rule got overwritten by another rule. I have no idea how that's a critical error, but I kind of have mixed feelings about it because one, I don't like it because it just like freaks out anybody from manager up. Like it freaks them out because they're like, oh my God, I got 80 critical errors that could bring our entire system down. Um, and then, but then you'll have, but it's so easy to fix that it's just like kind of nice just get it in there and fixing it and making them happy. But it's just so silly. But secondarily, some linters will be like, you you set the left and the right, but you never set the top and bottom, and then that can be like, so you can end up with like a linter that's demanding that you set it up kind of like how I had it before, and then SonarQube saying that's a problem, we can't have that, and trying to explain that. Okay, so I like that. I like that a lot. I think this is really, really nice. I think it sounds good. I'm very grateful to ChatGPT for coming up with these words for me. And I think all the words make sense. And I think 21 minutes is a really good short video since my last video took so long. Tomorrow we will do this. It'll be about me, about the developer. I think I deserve this, right? Like I spent over a year working on this. I got like a grand total of $0 from um, YouTube for putting this out there, and you know, I definitely don't want to understate it because I genuinely, truly appreciate every time someone likes one of my videos. I mean, like it really makes me happy, and it makes me a little unhappy every time someone downs one. And every once in a while, somebody will put it down, but it's kind of like if you put a thumbs down, but no comments, then I kind of assume that you're just like, shit, this is not what I wanted. Like I think that's what you're saying if you give me a thumbs down. And now there was one which was a non-technical video where someone's like, dude, get to it. What make get to your point, blah 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 blah. And it's just like, it wasn't a technical video. It's not really what I do. Um, and um, and that's just my style. That's the style I like to talk it. You know, like I like to sort of lay all the groundwork and make all the points ahead of time because it's just kind of like it weeds out all the shallow thinkers, right? Like a lot of people, like they just want to get a very shallow understanding of what you're saying and move on, and that's not really what I'm about. That's not what I'm trying to build. So that one didn't bother me, but I did appreciate the fact that they put a comment down, even though it was a bit mean. I did appreciate that they put a comment down because when you put a comment down, like if you thumbs down it and move on, and really if all you were upset about was that it wasn't really quite what you were looking for, that's fair. I think that is so fair, and I think that that's more of a criticism of the algorithm, not of the video. If you thumbs down it and you put a comment saying, hey, blah 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 blah, I disagree with this or whatever, then that's good too because you're kind of like, oh, that's cool. Um, that's not how I see it, or that's not what I want to do. So that's cool. But if you put a thumbs down and you're like, hey, like whatever, like want a higher resolution or something like that, then it's like, oh, all right, maybe I should do that. Like it just depends. Like, but anyways, so I think I do have. I think it's fair that I say something nice about myself in this about the developer. The how to use, I think, is going to be mostly maybe a little some introduction tests and a video on how to use this thing, and then the could go wrong is just kind of be like a bunch of reasons why you may not want to do this, and I'll probably lean heavily on like I have a lot of ideas, but I also can't think of everything, and I'll probably lean heavily on ChatGPT for more than just like styling of what my code does. Um, anyways, happy coding, everybody. Have a wonderful day. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.